Today we go over an update for Star Wars Episode 9, the final film in the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, these past couple of weeks we've been going over a lot of new details involving this movie that takes place well after the events of The Last Jedi and will be directed by J.J. Abrams later this month of July. We're getting closer to the principal photography stage. Now, we've been going over all of the different concept art descriptions involving both Poe Dameron and Finn and Rose, etc., even some of which consisting of Lando Calrissian. Now, you guys may recall about a week or two ago we went over some Kylo Ren stuff, and today let's talk about one of the other concept art descriptions involving what appears to be Kylo Ren's new mask, though there is no full confirmation on this. One of the concept art descriptions of Kylo Ren for Episode 9 goes over how Kylo Ren is sitting in his chambers, a profile shot of Ren looking up at the ceiling. In the background lies a mounted helmet on display, a fusion of Vader's helmet and Kylo's old mask. Now, what's really interesting to me about this is that, well, could this quite possibly be somebody else's mask? Well, since it's a fusion between both Darth Vader and Kylo Ren's, I'm led to assume that this is going to be Kylo Ren's new mask, though, like I said, there's no full confirmation that this is a new mask for Kylo Ren that he will be wearing in the movie. But what if he actually has backup helmets or masks that he has in his chambers that he hasn't destroyed just yet? Really does make one think to themselves, did Kylo Ren actually have spare helmets or spare masks in his chambers well before the events of The Force Awakens? Now, this honestly matches right up with some of the older concept art of The Force Awakens, in which they had a Kylo Ren sketch of him wearing a Vader-like helmet, where that little thing that, drapes in the back is falling more down towards his shoulders, kind of like Darth Vader's helmet. So it seems like, and this is the pattern that we have seen a lot of times in the sequel trilogy, is that you see a lot of these different concepts, essentially moving from one movie to the next. For a great example, in The Force Awakens, Yoda was supposed to return as a Force ghost, and that ultimately got scrapped, and Yoda was saved for The Last Jedi. The other idea for The Force Awakens as well was an Anakin Skywalker Force ghost, and now we're hearing that he may very well be appearing at some point in time in Star Wars Episode 9. Now, that also matches right up with how J.J. Abrams wants to introduce prequel trilogy content and really tie all these movies up together in one, all 9 movies. So if Kylo Ren really does sport a new mask that actually does match more that of his grandfather's, Darth Vader at the time, it really does question oneself, why would JJ and crew have Kylo Ren wear another mask in Episode 9, since Rian Johnson introduced the concept in The Last Jedi of Kylo Ren shedding layers and pretty much moving on to adolescence, even though Kylo Ren is 29. But I think that would be a little, out of sequence, where you have him wearing a helmet in The Force Awakens, and then only briefly in The Last Jedi, and then they break the helmet, and then apparently he has a brand new one in Episode 9. Now, like I say, not quite sure if he's actually going to be wearing this thing. It's only mounted in the background within his chambers, and if you guys have no idea what his chambers are, it's a location for Kylo Ren where he keeps all of these different artifacts, including Darth Vader's burned helmet from Endor. And that's another thing that we should bring up, is that how much of a role will Darth Vader have in Star Wars Episode 9? Speaking, of course, how much, Kylo Ren uses Darth Vader as inspiration for his own persona in Episode 9. That's going to be a question open on the table for sure. I mean, it seems like that's his driving force, right? I think that we all could really agree on that Kylo Ren's driving force really is his grandfather and trying to become a new Vader. As Snoke said in The Last Jedi, the potential of your bloodline, a new Vader. Though now I have mistaken. So what's cool about Kylo Ren, and this is one thing that I do like about the character, is that he is connected to that Skywalker bloodline. He is connected to Luke, Leia, and Anakin, who eventually turned out to be Darth Vader and was later redeemed by Luke to become Anakin Skywalker once again. So what's really interesting is a lot of people have been asking Rian Johnson about, well, can Kylo Ren be redeemed after what he did to his grandfather, or should I say his father, Han Solo? And Rian Johnson replied saying something around the lines of, well, you know, Darth Vader killed a whole lot more people in the galaxy, so, you know, I don't see why not when it comes to Kylo Ren. How would you guys feel if Kylo Ren were to be redeemed in Episode 9? Would you feel that that would be pretty much too much of a carbon copy that of Return of the Jedi? Or would you guys like to see something completely different, where maybe he remains on the dark side of the Force, but does something completely unexpected that serves the heroes in the story? That could be an interesting take on the character. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.